Well, once again, starting off as we come to you with a bird's eye view from the chopper of the Dusi Marathon, well underway now. We're looking at approximately 1,500 people will be passing through this river from Pietermaritzburg all the way down to Durban over the next 3 days, and promises to be a very exhilarating event, certainly, as that as a team we're here to capture this live. I think it's giving awareness not only to Pietermaritzburg, a place that certainly does need some lovely publicity, but also giving some wonderful publicity to the sport of canoeing. There's so many dedicated people that absolutely love doing it, and it's been around for many, many years, and it's nice to highlighting it again. Well, there you can see now, I'm not too sure how many batches are in the river, but I do know that each batch has got 60 canoeists in as they go, and they go off every 10 minutes and up until 10 o'clock this morning. So there's the next lot that are coming through, and there you can see actually there's some double couples that are coming through here. This race apparently is actually for singles, so only as a single can you win, and doubles are really participating more for the fun of it than anything. I saw some couples actually taking part of it, husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, if I had to do this with my husband Mark, I think we'd fight from the start to the finish. I think there are a lot of couples out there who would agree with me. I can't imagine doing it, but that's just me. Now, on the 22nd of December 1951, 8 men set off from Pietermaritzburg, Alexandra Park, on the first canoe marathon to Durban. Among those 8 men was Dr. Ian Player, the only finisher that year, despite being bitten by a snake, I'll have you know. Little did the men know that their adventure would become the world's famous Dusi Canoe Marathon. I have the man here with me. I'm very happy to have Dr. Ian Player, the oldest Dusi Canoe Marathon participant. Dr. Player, it's so good to have you here, and welcome to Morning Live.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very good to be here again.
again after all these years. I mean, you look at this event, and after 50 odd years, can you believe how much it's changed?
No, I knew right from the beginning that it would take off, primarily because the press and the media got behind it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the competitive spirit of human beings being what it is, it began, and it's never really stopped.
Yeah.
Very encouraging, because it's a unique race, and if you've ever done it, you're never the same again. You can't ever be.
Wow.
But and one of there are a number of very important things. One is that it makes people conscious of the environment, and that's been my life, of course. This canoeing launched me into wildlife conservation. But everybody that canoes here, they understand what water's about.
Yeah. Well, that goes without say, because they're covered with it and drenched for 3 days in a row. But this is a 3-day race. When you started out the Dusi, you basically started in Pietermaritzburg, ended up in Durban. There were no stops along the way. You had to go through the night and stop and rest where you can, then pick up early and keep going. Is that how it was when you first did this race?
Well, I first pioneered the Dusi in 1950, and then because of a challenge from Ernie Pierce, that started the first race. But it was in the second race that we decided to go right through.
Yeah.
Which was quite exciting, to put it mildly.
I'm sure. You must have come across some very difficult times. Being bitten by a snake, for instance. Is that a true story? You were bitten by a snake and you still carried on?
Yeah, well, fortunately, as I was explaining to someone this morning, it was if you get a full bite, in other words, all the teeth in you, then you're in big trouble. But I got only one tooth in, and fortunately I had some Condy's crystals with me, so I cut it open with a knife and put in the Condy's crystals. And then I was taken to the Ananda police station, where a very kind Sergeant Smuts gave me an anti-venom injection. And then I was able to continue.
Yeah. Gee whiz. Getting back to the tough conditions that you did in 50 years ago or so doing this race. You would go through the night, but where would you stop? Would you just stop on the side of the river and sleep where you could, then pick it up in the morning?
Yeah, we went literally stopped as far as you could go. That was to begin with.
Yeah.
And of course, in those days we carried a billy can and we had tea, and You had a waterproof jacket. I had an old Second World War gas cape, which I bless that, because you could stay warm in it, you know, in the water and at night.
Yeah.
No, look, it was very, it was an enormous experience. It was an epiphany.
I have it on good authority that for the start of some of the Dusi races right in the beginning, there was no cannon going off. There was instead Dr. Ian Clare's voice. Now, you used to mimic the sound, or you still do, to start the race. Was it the sound of a seagull?
No.
What was it the sound of?
No, it's the fish eagle.
The fish eagle, not a seagull, the fish eagle. Would you do that for us? Can you still do it?
Well, I'll have a go for you.
Okay, good. And that's how the Dusi began, 50-odd years ago. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. Dr. Ian Clare, thank you very much for talking to us on Morning Live. Reminiscing. One more thing.
Yeah. I am delighted that Martin Dreyer has started this academy in the valley for the young kids who are herding cattle. And I mean, that's how Mike and Banjwa got going.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is an enormous plus, to have those people who actually live in the valley come and participate. And the only other thing is, of course, I'm delighted this morning that Rob Humphreys and others are here raising money for the SPCA, for the animals in the valley. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being with us. That is one of the strongest points about this, is the development, the community development that happens around here. The different villages and communities that benefit from this are really immense. I hope we get to speak to somebody about that, and also the development that's going into the community, and people that never in their wildest dreams believed that they could get into a canoe and do the Dusi, never mind win it. And that is what I think the success story here is today. Let's go back to the Joburg studio now. For you.
All right, Leanne, thank you very much.